This is handwriting analysis, some alerts. So I'm going to start explain what is a graphology. This technique is a graphology. So you can see my PowerPoint because I'm seeing my face. I don't know.
We can see your PowerPoint.
Yeah. So that's the reason why the computer sometimes is completely lost.
Okay, no problem. Please
So
continue. Yeah.
I'm trying to do so quickly as possible for finish well. Okay, so this presentation is the science of alert of and handwriting. And the handwriting, this technique is a graphology. So I'm going to put some examples of the of graphology. And okay, this is an example of handwriting and also discipline dedicated to the study and interpretation of handwriting to cover various aspects of an individual's personality, emotions, and psychological traits. This practice is grounded in the belief that features such as a handwriting shape, size, pressure, and inclination can offer valuable insights into a person's underlying psychology. So, what can handwriting tell us? Handwriting reflects mental state. Handwriting reveals cognitive and emotional conditions of the writer vividly. Indicators of alertness, controlled and consistent handwriting indicates high alertness and mental engagement. Signs of fatigue or distraction, irregular pressure, slat, suggest fatigue or reduced focus. Application in psychology and education's handwriting analysis aids forensic psychology and monitors students' performance. That's only a few samples of the graphology can be applied. So, why handwriting matters? Handwriting reflects brain function. Handwriting reveals coordination between cognitive process and motor skills in the brain. Alertness shows in handwriting. Clear's city handwriting indicates high alertness and active brain processing. Effects of reduced alertness, fatigue or stress causes erratic strokes, uneven pressure, and messy handwriting. Applications of handwriting analysis again is just you can use in a lot of different subjects. And now I'm gonna talk about characteristic of alert handwriting. Alert handwriting shows clear, consistent strokes with uniform pressure and spacings. Traits of fatigue handwriting. Fatigued handwriting appears wobbly with light pressure and irregular spacing. Neurological indicators handwriting affects cognitive and motor control states. So, indicators of alertness in handwriting. Graphology is very helpful in various areas. In this segment, we will discuss handwriting indicators that can help us detect potential tendencies, whether aggressive or depressive, and how a professional can provide appropriate treatment. together, and that's going to be a really good implement for the psychology. So this the psychology can provide the therapy for the patient and can prevent the potential. Oh my gosh, this this stuff, and this phone is very dangerous. Okay, and this is an example of writing on their meanings. Okay, this is a letter of Vincent van Gogh. So this is aggressiveness in letter. So examples are excessive use and angles of peaks, heavy and firm pressure, and encouragement onto their lower line. Other indicators include letters with sawtooth strokes, club-like arpon, like endings, and impulsive penetrating writing. This is some examples of the letters when the person are, can be angry, and this is an example aggressiveness, very angular letters. Do you see? And this can be part of signature. Letter T can show us the some signs of aggressiveness. This is a other letter example together. It's very angular, these letters, so that's the letters for a person are aggressive. And also this is other example, the aggressiveness. The letters can go to lower, that represent the person have a very instinct, very can be very aggressive. So this is other example of the arpons is here. Here more angular stuff. And for example, here other little sample, but I wanna trying to make big one for you guys. For see the little arp here have a little line, and that show this is a very unique example of somebody very aggressive. That letter is the owner is Bundy. So this is a part, and every single line have signs of aggressiveness. So now I'm gonna show impulsiveness. In graphology, impulsiveness manifests an angular, sharp stroke, heavy pressure, abrupt movements, and the tendency to use gestures, a waved, slanging strokes, resembling show movement of the arpon. This word says terminology for graphology, so that's a little pretty weird. So a jet-like motion that ends with a sharp point. These elements are associated with an energetic, sometimes irritable or aggressive personality with a need to dominate, and may indicate the release of nervous tension and impulsiveness. Graphic traits that indicate impulsiveness include discontinuation, quick attention to form, suggested immediate reaction and little reflection. Abrupt upward strokes, sudden upward stroke in words or lines indicate enthusiasm and lack of stability. Even uneven pressure changes in stroke intensity, sometimes strong, sometimes weak, reflects fluctuating emotions and lack of control. Uneven letters change size and shape within the same word, a sign of proof, planning, and spontaneity. Word spacing, word very close together. That's talking about somebody very dominant. Almost touching indicate a tendency to act without pause. Abrupt ending letters that and abruptly without smooth transition. This is some examples of this. A person very instinctive can be very aggressive and also can react if out of thinking. So that's a little things in the signature talking about somebody can be really aggressive and can do a lot of and introversion doesn't mean a person don't want to attract the attention from nobody. That's mean to um, introversion, inhibition, and difficulty expressing emotions. White spaces between words. This can reflect a feeling of isolation or a need for emotional distance. Sloping lines, when lines tend to slant downward toward the end, is interpreted as discouragement or a lack of hope. Simplified and under style handwriting without loops or details with strange strokes can indicate a lack of emotion. I'm going to show you some letters. It's way letters down. That's very particular when somebody can 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 be possible in a high depression. This is other sample. I'm gonna put this here. This is an adolescent handwriting. Other thing is the letter is too small, and also they have a lot of like marks in the letters because no one shows. It's like when somebody trying to hide some emotions. Signs of dishonesty and lie. The traits of this dishonesty, lie, and fraud are often the same, since fraud stems from lying as does dishonesty. These traits are usually accompanied by others. There are several, some might have additional traits, such as arrogance, overbearing. Some examples of this. In graphology, certain handwriting traits are considered associated with a tendency to conceal information or lie. However, it's important to note that there is no conclusive scientific evidence that graphology can accurately detect lies. That said, here are some examples of characteristics that graphologists often interpret as indicators of insincerity. Examples of traits associated with line graphology: disorder or inconsistent letters, where the usual shape of the letters suddenly changes, can be interpreted as a lack of transparency. Broken or interrupted strokes, letters that are not completed, especially in keywords, are associated with evasion, excessive ornamentation in handwriting too. Exaggerated, I'm sorry, my English is not very good. Use of loops, flourishes, or unnecessary curves can be interpreted as an attempt to impress or divert attention. Variable slant. Abrupt changes in slant from right to left with the same text can suggest emotional instability or contradictions. Uneven pressure, areas of very heavy pressure and others of very light pressures on the same line can indicate inner tension or a lack of sincerity. Disproportionate spacing. Disproportionate spacing. This is some examples of the letters. The handwriting here, for example, is again the upper is really long. This one, do you see, is huge. That one is in the same. Um, it's different. The style of the handwriting. That's talking about is not not clear and these a little circles is when somebody trying to take your attention and do whatever he needs for for trying to convince you. Do you see the letters are really together? Is when somebody is very manipulative. This one is really long to down, in this case to the left. That's talking about a person have a lot of memories from the past, not really good. And also, do you see the letter O is too long and go to other word? That's mean a very controlative and manipulative person. This is another example of letters. Do you see again? Uh, that one is inside the a lot of circles inside the same letter. Have a lot of stuff in the thinking a lot of things simultaneously, but is under pressure. And also, these letters are really different sizes in the same letter. This is an example because this is a letter, but I want to show you how it can be, and a person's make it whatever can is doing that kind of things, and that things talking about a person not very serious. Again, more aggression. This talking about this kind of letter and offer talking about the person is not very trying to hide something. Okay, and these letters have a lot of big. This letter J, is very huge, talking about a very a person with very oh my god, what is the word? The vanity, with a lot of vanity. So more little angles here, very long to the past. Again, angular, but it's together. That means it's very sociable and always trying to be with other people, needed other people actually, but it's very controlative here because the letter D is inside the other letter here. So that's talking about a very manipulative person. And so workplace, this handwriting application analysis can be in for monitoring workplaces. Handwriting analysis help monitor employee performance and detect stress or fatigue. In educational instincts, teachers use handwriting cues to identify students struggling or designate. Well, actually, this technique not can be awesome if the teachers can use it, but it's not very common. So, driver alertness testing, handwriting tests assess alertness of drivers before long shifts in transportation. and medical diagnosis aid can assist in diagnosing neurological conditions and tracking cognitive decline. Some This is some examples of the practices or applications. This is some reference, and that's it.